This is the plaintiff, Stephen Malloy. He says he purchased an engine from the defendant and thought he could trust him since he was a fellow veteran. Turns out that guy took his money and never gave him the engine. He's been out a working truck for 3 months waiting on this engine. What the defendant did to him wasn't right, and he's here in the name of justice suing for the $3,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Neil Prasad. He says the plaintiff backed out on the deal after he found a cheaper engine somewhere else. The guy was very belligerent with him, considering he was changing their deal, and now he's coming after him in court? Ah! He's accused of letting a military buddy down.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought an engine from the defendant but never got it. The defendant says the plaintiff just got a better deal somewhere else. It's the case of the little engine that couldn't.
I have the right case, right? This is about an engine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is there adorable little pit bull puppy?
She's a service dog, Your Honor.
A service dog to who? You're like 20. What could you possibly have gone through? What is your service?
I just got out of the Marine Corps, Your Honor.
And so you bring a dog with you everywhere you go now?
Yes, Your
How
Honor.
old are you?
22, Your Honor.
And you just got out of the Marine Corps after how long?
4 years, Your Honor.
Don't. Oh my gosh. She pointed it at me. How old is this puppy?
10 weeks, Your Honor.
Oh, you're killing me. Just, you know what? Sit down with the puppy. Just sit down with the puppy. Okay, then. Mr. Malloy, you are suing Mr. Prasad for $3,000, $1,000 of a deposit that you gave to him for an engine that was in a truck,
Yes, Your Honor.
and $2,000 because you didn't get to use the truck for 2 months. Tell me what happened. What was the agreement that you had with him? What did you buy?
So originally I had seen a posting on Craigslist for a engine. I believe it was blown, it had a hole in the block. I needed a cylinder head to finish repairing mine if I was going to rebuild it. I'd reached out to Mr. Prasad expressing interest. He had notified me he had a running engine, which seemed like a much easier solution to just replace the whole engine, not having to rebuild. So we had agreed to, originally he said he paid $4,500 for the engine. He said $3,500 if I take it out. I offered him $2,500, and he agreed, saying since I am military and he was a former Marine, that he would give me a good deal.
So what was the deal, $2,500?
It was $2,500.
Okay, so you put down $1,000.
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened?
So he was going to have the truck towed to my mechanic's shop since the
Right.
engine was still in. He had an F650 flatbed wrecker.
Do you have a contract with him that spells out like what the order of these things were?
Just like verbally over text message, nothing
Okay, that'll
legal.
do. Let me see the text messages about who's supposed to do what when. Were you supposed to bring the truck over to his mechanic so that they could transfer the engine from one to the other?
That's what we agreed on, Your Honor.
Okay, and when were you supposed to do that?
There wasn't a set date, but we finally did.
When will you guys figure out that loose ends are what keep us in business?
Well, this is a heavy-duty tow that I was going to pay to have towed to help the gentleman out.
Well, why would it take so long?
Your Honor, the reason why it took so long, because you have to coordinate his friend that was doing him a favor to have room at his shop to put a large tow truck. I didn't handicap the process. Originally, his friend was busy and didn't have time to accommodate it
For how long?
for at least a good month. It's all in the text messages. If you read the text
Let me
messages,
see your
it's
text
very
messages on
right.
your phone.
If I may speak, Your
No,
Honor?
no, hold on, I'm still reading.
Okay.
Okay, on 6/4, you remind him that he hasn't given you the address. He gives you the address. And then you guys talk about the job. Is it payroll or under the table? Under. Cash. Perhaps you shouldn't write that.
Well, Your Honor, I didn't realize
As I
that we
say
were
to
gonna
my
end up
children, say it, forget it, write it,
Right.
regret it. Okay, on 6/12, he texts you, my buddy in Wall will be ready for the truck Thursday night if that works for you. So that's not accurate. It was only 10 days, not a month.
Okay, well, that's one party that was ready. There still needs to be two parties that need to make this.
Yeah, but you said that his guy took a month, and that is false. Hey, bud, I have some free time tomorrow until noon if you need some help with anything. He then texts you a few days later and says, do you need help bringing the truck over to my buddy's garage? If so, what time are you bringing it? And then he keeps texting you each day saying, what about today? What about, and you say, okay, tomorrow on 6/8, today's still good. I think he has a schedule for Tuesday. All right, let me know when your buddy can drop off the truck. We can make sure somebody can be there to receive it. Every day is tomorrow.
Like I stated, I wasn't driving the tow truck, Your Honor.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I mean, part of
Well-
your deal is that you're going to take it over there, so get it done. You're a tow truck. What is your job?
I own a tow truck company and
Oh,
repair
okay.
business.
All right.
But I also have 5 kids in the family that I also have to attend to, too.
Yeah, I
So
don't-
towing a truck
Look, I'm
isn't
sorry. I
my
don't care.
number one priority.
Don't yell
and it's
at
not
me and
against
think
the
that
law.
it's going to help you. First of all, I don't know what you're angry about. I'm not the guy who made that deal, so don't yell at me.
I'm not
Don't
yelling
talk
at
to
you.
me like that.
I'm not. Don't
Yeah.
talk to me like
no,
that.
No. This stuff has to stop.
No.
I don't care what you think
Well,
about me outside of the courtroom, but while you're in here, take it down a notch,
Your Honor,
okay?
the wow factor
Because
with
the
the dog
bottom
and the
line
puppy,
is,
all
here's
that stuff doesn't
what is
apply
going
here.
on.
What applies
you
here-
make an agreement to tow a truck over there, and you're angry with me and being snippy with me because I'm pointing out that week after week after week while he's patiently
Keep
waiting,
reading, Your Honor.
you're not taking it
Well,
over
if you
there.
keep reading, you'll get more to it.
Are you hearing him?
Well, okay, I know I'm being belligerent. I should have brought a puppy, I guess, with me.
Sit down. If you don't want to sit down, get out. It's your choice.
Well, I'll get out.
Get out.
I'm not a dog.
Okay. He will be at my shop around 5 and probably drop off closer to. Is this his phone or your phone?
I believe that one's mine.
Okay. And every day he just gives you another excuse.
Until I went to go try and remove the engine by myself on the 14th.
Honestly, I've been without my truck for 3 months. Now just looking for something a little more accessible. This is on July 15th. Dave can tow at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. It's all set up. I just have to make sure he still has room at the shop because now a month has passed.
Exactly.
I have him locked in tomorrow. I said, you have that non-running 5.9. What happens on July 18th? No, sold it for Ben make room. He must be busy. What can I do to help this price? Now he's trying to help. Yeah, he just got 4 more trucks in, although I'm really thinking I am going to go a different route. And that's his complaint. His complaint is that you just changed your mind. So you tell him I found a machine shop that will, you're asking him if he'll sell parts of it, like the cylinder head.
Yeah, I was willing to-
And you say, if not, I understand you're trying to make as much money back on it as you can. And he answers, whatever I can do to help. I guess I could sell the short block. That's a good deal. Who are you using? Blah, blah, blah. You're all chit-chatty up, both of you. You're going to work for him. Everything's great. When did everything go to pot?
When you continue reading, you'll see that, again, it was excuse, oh, tomorrow I'll get your money. Oh, tomorrow I'll get your money.
So what do you suppose? He just doesn't have cash? That's what it is? Or he just doesn't feel like parting with it?
From what I talked to, because originally, at one point, I'm sure you read that I went over and I worked on the truck myself. I got kicked out of the yard
By the landlord.
by, well, another, like, someone that worked there that was renting from the landlord as well. And I got talking to him. He said, you know, the guy's just, I mean, pardon my French,
Go
but,
ahead and ask him if he wants to come back in or if he wants to stay out there, because I have some questions I want to ask him.
you know, he said he wasn't too kind of a gentleman, and he owes the landlord a lot of money. And he said, I probably would never see that engine.
Another person who works there?
That works
Okay.
at the old, like, where the landlord owns the property.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what job. I don't even know his name.
You know what hearsay is, Your Honor?
Can,
You know what hearsay is? Or,
Yeah, I
are
do.
you not familiar with the law?
Here's-
the contract was very simple.
Get the heck out of my courtroom.
You know what the contract
Turn around,
was?
walk out, get out
The
of my
contract
courtroom.
was very simple.
Now.
You know what the contract
Turn
was?
around
The
and walk
contract
out
said
and get out of the courtroom.
non-refundable deposit.
Turn around.
That's what was on the
walk
ad.
out. Security.
Yeah, what's the matter? You don't like-
Forget it.
you don't like
Get
to be
security
told-
too. We're
Right.
done. We're
You
done.
don't
We're
like to
done.
be
We're done. We're
told
done.
the truth.
And here I was going to give you a chance to explain all kinds of stuff, but instead I'll just let his words do the talking for him.
So, do you think veterans have a duty to deal on a higher level with each other than, say, 2 strangers?
Yes, they have rage against each other because they've been in the military before.
Well, I was kind of going the opposite way, but thanks. Going inside the courtroom.
So, $2,500 that you paid him. Then you don't get. Oh, you paid him $1,000.
I gave him $1,000.
All right. So the $1,000 deposit that you paid him on June 2nd, is that correct?
Yes.
You're entitled to that back. You're entitled to court costs, and you're entitled to prejudgment statutory interest on that $1,000 from June 2nd until today. That's what you're entitled to. You're not entitled
Okay.
to non-use of the truck because you struck a deal that was very open-ended, and a lot of it, you know, the reason it took so long is because you kept tolerating it taking that long.
Understood.
To some extent. So that is my verdict. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, the defendant was thrown out of court, but he will find out soon enough that you won the lawsuit. Not everything you wanted. But
That's okay.
You did prevail to a degree.
At
You
least I
okay
got my
with that?
money back.
Well, you're going to get your money back,
Yes.
obvious. I don't know about the engine.
Yeah.
Forget that. Okay. I don't know if the puppy helped you in court or not. Thank you very much.
Well, thank
okay.
you.
Congratulations. You must sign some papers out there, and that'll wrap it up for a rather heated dispute. Army?
Well, Doug, here's the deal. When you are in court, you're trying to impress the judge, influence the judge your way, and when you disrespect the judge, it is simply a jerk move.